Hello, hello, hello. Do we have some people here? It's very, very exciting. Morning, morning, morning. Who have we got? Hello, Carol, Sheila, Tanya, Kirsty, little Miss Phoenix. Hello. How are you all? I hope you're excited. This is something completely different for us. So you get to see my face this morning. I've even had a shower on a Sunday. And there's a lot to show you. So thought the best way of kind of explaining this beast that we've created would be to do a live stream and take you through it all, because it's massive. There's loads to it. And it probably needs more than we can write down in a simple blog post. So basically, this is the launch of something that we have called Your Perfect Journal program. It is a replacement for what we lovingly referred to as the JWO. So that was Journal with Daisy. The difference between the two is that the JWO was housed within our website, whereas the Perfect Journal program lives within Notion, which some of you may be familiar with. If anyone's used Notion, give me a little wave in the comments. And if you haven't used Notion, have you heard of Notion? Because I'd heard of it. I'm just gonna have a little drink. I've got a bit of a sore throat, so apologies if I'm a bit groggy. I'd heard of it, but I'd never used it before, and I came to using it through a different course that I was doing, and thought it was a great platform, something that we could really utilize, and something that would be a really useful resource for someone that is new to journaling, or someone that's journaled before but not stuck with it, or someone that's journaled before and just wants to, like, I don't know, start afresh, start a new journal. I've written myself some notes. The most important thing that you guys need to know is that this isn't a digital journal. It is not a digital journal. It's not a journal that is going to be on your computer or on your phone. And I'm going to read my script. What it is a guided program that acts as a resource to help you prep, plan, and get the most out of your physical journal. So this is basically the JWO, but in a slightly different format. I will go through questions at the end, but I'm going to do a kind of walkthrough of what everything is. Feel free to pop questions in the chat and I will either jump to them if they're kind of pertinent to what's going on, or I will answer them at the end. I subscribed to the JWO but didn't have time to use it. No, the JWO has now gone. Access was only for 3 months anyway, but in the process of rebuilding our website, the JWO won't be on the website anymore. So it's no longer there. This is the JWO and so much more. So this is a much better, well, complete resource, I think. So basically, when you enroll to the Perfect Journal program, you will get a link. And I've shared my screen up here. The link will take you to this page, and this bit's really important. You will need to duplicate this program so that it lives within your own Notion membership. So you'll need to sign up for Notion. It's totally free. So if you log into Notion or get a sign up to Notion, do that, and it'll let you log in here once you've got your own Notion login. The reason you need to do that is because until you've done that, you can't click any boxes or anything, because this is a template that you can't do anything to. So it's a really important step. It's on the link that we will send you. So when you enroll to the Perfect Journal program, you'll get a PDF with a link to this and 3 simple instructions, which basically says, get Notion, get a Notion login, open the link, and duplicate the template. So I've got a Notion login, so I'm just going to log in. Dun, dun, dun. And then what it does is takes me in to my Notion, and then, let's go to this. And then what I will do is click these 3 dots up here and click duplicate. Now, that's really important. If you don't do that duplicate bit, it won't add it to your own Notion dashboard, and you won't be able to change anything within the plan. So these are like super important steps. I'm going to just zoom in so that you can see a bit closer, because I've got this on a mammoth screen. So hopefully you can all see it now. So this is where you will get to. Let me just move this sidebar out the way. Go out the way. There we go. So this is where you will get to. And what you'll see at the top is that we've got a calendar. This is actually the Upsadaisy public calendar. So within that, it has all of our live streams. It has when things are being dispatched, all different things within here. And then if we scroll down, you've got a navigation bar. And what you'll also see at the beginning of this is that it says a little bit of an introduction, and then we're just repeating those top 3 things that you need to do. So first, you need to log into a Notion account or create an account for free. Then you need to click the 3 dots, the top corner, and duplicate. This is going to add this whole template, and then it means that you can edit it and you can make changes, because you can't do that while it's a template. Then we've set you your first big 3 tasks. So the first task, if you, excuse me, haven't used Notion before, is to kind of figure out how to find your way around Notion. So anything like this with a little arrow is a link, and it opens up another page. So I'm just having a look. And then we've got some tips on how to use Notion that you can go through. It's very intuitive. So once you kind of have a play with it, you'll be able to figure your way out. It's no different really to using, for example, a website. It's not super difficult. Bear with 1 second. So get to know Notion, and then once you've done that, you can tick your box to say that you've done that. And then we're going to tell you how the program works, and you can go into this. And once you've read through, what you'll see is that in every module, so the program is made up of 8 modules, you'll find 3 big tasks, and they're highlighted in purple. Your level up tasks are then like what you want to do to take it to the next level. We've also created a reading list of resources, and we're asking you to have a sharing moment in the community that we've built as well. We've also got some handy downloads there that are going to help you through the program. And then click the button to go back to the home page. As I said, it's all super usable. And then the next thing is joining the community. And if you click this, it will take you through to a Facebook community. I'm just going to untick those so it doesn't choose template. So the program itself, as I said, is made up of 8 modules. We've got Get Prepared, Finding Your Why, the fundamentals, where we talk about future planning, key indexing, goal planning, collections in your journal, monthly spreads, weekly spreads, how to make it a routine, and then what to do to kind of level up. So that's the first section. The next section that you have is your own personal plan, and we'll come to that in a second. And then we've got within that your plan, downloads and worksheets, and your wish list, which we'll come to in a second. And then there is a ton of modules, and they are the resource modules there. And then I've got a little message from me at the bottom. It's not a digital journal. It is a program to help you set up your physical journal. So the same as the JWO Journal with Daisy was an online kind of guided program to set up your physical journal. This works in exactly the same way, only it's within Notion. So if we go into the first module, hopefully you'll see a little bit more about what we're doing. So I'm going to actually, rather than that one, let's go into this one because it's a bit more getting stuck in. So within Notion, anytime you click on a link, it opens a page. You've got this little arrow at the top corner here that will open it as a full page. You've got your navigation bar, which will take you to all of the different places. You can see if you drop this down, there's all the modules within the program, and then your journal plan is here. You're finding your why, so the module that we're looking at, there's a little introduction to the module. There is a printable there if you want to download the printable version. And then the tasks, as I said, your big 3 tasks are in purple. So we're going to get to know our journal in ABCs. We're going to complete pages 1 to 2 of the Plan Your Perfect Journal workbook. We're going to brainstorm our journal plan using pages 3 to 4 of the workbook. And then we're going to join a live stream is a level up task, and snap a picture of your perfect planning worksheet and join within the community. So the workbook is here, and then thinking about what we want to use our journal for. And as I said, each module has got resources. So we've got different essentially reading material. So this one is questions to answer before you set up your next journal. And then what we've also added at the bottom is products that are related to what we're doing in case they are relevant to you. And if you click on this button, it will take you to our website. And if you click on this button, I'll show you in a second, it basically adds it to a wish list. I'm going to go back a level here. I've also got as a section within the module 1, my essential journaling supplies. Sorry for flicking around. Once you go in and have a look, you'll be able to see. I get asked a lot about different things that I use in live streams. For example, pens, the pencil that I use, the corner punch, the craft knife, the glue roller. So I've added links to all of the things that I use often in that page there. If you add any of those to a wish list, let's come back out and go back home. Within the, there we go, my plan section, which is everything that you've created. If you go to wish list, you'll see the things that I clicked on to add to wish list will be added here. And the links to purchase are in this URL thing. So if you click on that, it'll open up the page in Amazon and then you can get to the product. So it means that everything that I use within this that people say, where did you get this from? Where did you get this from? I've linked at some place and it'll pop it in this shopping list. So it means that you can then get a link to it. Hopefully that's helpful. Let me have a drink before I carry on. The next one. So where are we so far? 8. Go back to the top. So got the program. The other thing that you'll find as, let's go in here. Let's say I've done 3 tasks. And go back here. It will update your progress tracker, and it'll tell you what percentage of the way through the program you are. So that will be updated as you continue. So that's a cool little thing that we've added in. I've done the wish list, done the resources. So all the resources are here. I can show them as pictures. But they are linked within the individual modules. So you don't really need to come down as far as the resources unless you want to go back or read to another thing, or you can't remember what module you found your in particular thing in, because they are linked from here in your reading list sections. Downloads in this section here, I've added a load of handy things that you might use. So we've got a couple of habit trackers, the year at a glance printable, some the grid spacing guides, word of the year workbook, planning your perfect journal workbook, and circle trackers for the year. So you can add all of those. And then the last bit that I want to go through, which is a really cool section, let's go up to it, is I think in here. So I would definitely recommend you take it module by module because it's been done in an order that makes sense for the program. I'm just showing you what's in here. So this is our interactive journal planner, and this is super cool. So as you're working through, it might be that you decide that you want to add certain pages to your journal. So making a list of what you want to add is a really useful thing. So we've added a ton of pages to kind of give you some ideas. So if you know that you want to add a 26 in 2026, you can do that. If you want to add something to do with TV and movies, we can include that. If you want to add in your monthly spread a calendar, master to-do list, and a habit tracker, let's just go with those for now. We can also, let's say you want to add, I don't know, give me an idea. What's another page that you might want to add to your journal? Tell me anything. Stunned silence. If whatever it is an annual page, you just click on new page and we write, what might we want to add? I've got birthdays as one on there. Annual leave tracker. You can just add a new page there and it adds it automatically as an included thing. And then when you go back to view your journal plan, what you'll find is a list of all the things that you have ticked down here. So, I've changed that to, sorry, that's it. So a list of all the things that have been checked are here. So you can then go through, and as you start them, you can say in progress. So you can kind of see what spreads you need to do and what spreads you still need to set up, have it easily done. And when it's completed, you can click your completed button or you can click your done button. So yeah, basically that's your interactive journal planner. We also talk about then, once you've got this list, writing it all onto post-it notes and then putting those physically within your journal to make a layout plan in your journal. So this just helps to kind of create a list of what you want to do digitally as you're working through the program. I'm going to go back now. And back to home. So I know that was a huge amount of information in a really short space of time. Oh, the other thing, sorry, I've got one more thing that I need to show you, and that is the diary. So I've shown you the diary here. Bear with me 1 second. I've just realised I think I've put something in the diary that... changing that. If we go to the diary, what you'll find is, first of all, our interactive diary. So this is our Google Plan we use within the office, but it also has the theme box dispatch, theme box theme announcements, any live streams that are happening, and the time that they're happening. And then I've also popped all of the different streams that we have planned for the next 3 months, setting up my 2026 journal so that they are all in one place. It also means that you can watch them back from here. So the diary is another really handy resource, and that is linked from the homepage here as well. So you've got your home and it takes you back to here, new to Notion, tell you all about Notion, how it works, does exactly what it says on the tin. The community will take you to the Facebook group, and the diary will take you to that page which links all of what's going on at Daisy. And then you have the program and your personal plan there. Okay, that is everything. The last thing that I need to tell you is that because this is so new, and it's the first time we've ever done anything like this, and we've gone through this again and again and again. I think Kate and I are probably a bit blind to it now. What we're going to do is open up access to the Daisy chain, first of all, as a kind of beta tester situation, if you will. The Daisy chain will get access half price. So the program will be £25. The Daisy chain will get it for £12.50. And then what we will do in a couple of weeks' time, maybe not even a couple of weeks, maybe like 10 days, we'll send out a survey, get any feedback, any big changes that we can make prior to launching it kind of community wide, we will do. We want it to be as usable as possible. So it might be that we need to add a link or something that we've missed that will make it much more sort of navigatable. It'll just be really useful to have that feedback. So we're giving access to the Daisy chain first of all, and a link will go out after this live stream. And then once we've got the Daisy chain feedback, we will then be opening it up to a broader audience kind of mid to late November. Okay, that's all my talking. Do you have any questions, thoughts, feelings, ideas, any of those things while I have a drink? The £12.50 gets you access to this version of your perfect journal program. So you will duplicate that, and that will then be on your Notion. It may be that a lot of the things in here that we've put in here, like the downloads and stuff, are for 2026. So it might be that we update it for next year. But this version, you will have forever. You're buying this version of the template. So it's yours to use. We do ask that as it is our template, that it is not replicated. It is not sold on. It is our intellectual property. But you get access to this version of the template indefinitely. I think Kate's answering some questions. It's not a monthly fee. It's a one-off cost. So it'll be £25 full price, but we are giving access to the Daisy chain for half price. Again, as this is totally new to us, we kind of want some feedback. So for the first 2 weeks, you'll be able to get it for £12.50, which I think is a bargain. There are so many resources in here. Like if we go, for example, to weekly spreads, we've got a resource here that is a bunch of different weekly spread layouts for you to take a look at. For example, within here as well, we've got different products that you might want to add to your wish list. The printables that are included are in downloads and worksheets. So you get these sort of printables here. There's a lot in there. It's hefty. Any thoughts, feelings, questions? Are you all stunned? Love it. Okay, cool. So basically, so the program is digital. It's a Notion template. It is all around setting up a physical journal. You wouldn't need to add printables from your account because it's not a journal, it's a plan to set up a physical journal. So you can download printables and print them out and put them in your journal. That's yeah, totally fine. There's a lot in there. I'm just going to untick these things so that it doesn't think. Oh, like you might want to use printables. Yeah, you can add whatever you want into the. So if we go to the, where is it? Interactive journal planner. If you were going to add, for example, I don't know, gratitude printable, you can put it there. Oop, you can add whatever you want. In order to kind of know that you want to add it into your journal. I'm just going to delete that. Can you print the pages at different sizes? What pages? The printables. The printables are A4 or A5 size, depending on what you how you set your printer. So they are here. The grid spacing guides are for printing on A4. The rest of it is all digital, so it isn't an actual journal. It's a program to help you learn about journaling and create your perfect plan, your perfect journal. So figuring out what you want to include in your journal, all of those different things. We cover lots of different topics. So the 8 topics that we cover are get prepared, finding your why, the fundamentals, achieving your goals, collections, monthly spreads, weekly spreads, and sticking with the habit. And then we have a whole section for what's next. And then this is your plan. And these are your resources. You'll get to know Notion more as you sort of move around. It's pretty intuitive in terms of like you have the breadcrumbs at the top here. So as you click into things, it opens another page. This makes it large. So get prepares sits within the program. So the next one back from that is that, and then the one back from that is your perfect journal program. Just gonna look. Oh, that's a great question. Yes, it works on the iPad. There is a Notion app for the iPad and for the phone. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you. Hold on, let me show you what it looks like on the phone. So can you see that? So basically, there is an app specifically for Notion for your phone and for the iPad. So it doesn't matter if you haven't. We've kind of optimized it for phone. That's why it's narrow on the screen, which is a lot nicer to use. Because we know most people tend to access things from their phone or from their tablet. That's why you've got this kind of narrowness here. It means that it's laid out so much more nicely on your phone. More nicely. I don't know if that's good English, but you know what I mean. Any other questions? Hit me up now. So each section, as I said, basically has these tasks at the top. You've got your big 3 tasks. You've got your level up tasks. So for this one, it's add the upcoming live streams to your diary. These tend to be like nice to do tasks rather than have to do tasks. And then we've also set you a kind of sharing. I can't remember what we called it. What did we call it, Kate? How the program works. Time to share, that's what we called it. A time to share task. So this is where we've still got the community. We've created a new group on Facebook exclusively for this. And once you have this and you go into, let's go back. I'm not going to show you it now because it will give you the password, but in Get Prepared, there is a join the community page and there's a password in there so that you can join the Facebook community. Could you moderate the planner list to say a reading journal on our own template? Yeah, I mean, basically, once you've got it, it is yours to change as much as you want to. Until you're sort of comfortable with Notion, I wouldn't change too much. But basically, everything is set as a template. So, for example, I've set these so that they're a feed view so that you can see the sort of pictures. You could also have it set as a table. If you go into my journal plan, you could say my reading journal plan. Like, it's all changeable, but I probably wouldn't faff with it too much. I mean, you will have, if you make a duplicate, you'll only be able to do that if you make a duplicate of the template. So if you completely change it all and then decide you don't like it, you could always just open it again and duplicate a new version of it. That's totally fine. The price is going to be £25, but the daisy chain for the next 2 weeks are going to have access for it for £12.50, so half price. What are you all thinking? Do you think it sounds good? Do you think you might want to use it? I'm just checking that I haven't missed any other questions. Oh, did I show the progress tracker? I did. So in the program here, which is where all the modules are, there's a progress tracker that Kate built that basically means as you tick things within the module tasks that it updates your progress. So it'll say how far through the whole program you are. Keep having to untick them because I didn't make a duplicate, so I'm changing the original. Cool. I will let all of you have a think about questions. If you have any after this video is finished, pop us a comment underneath the video and I will reply as soon as I can do. There won't be a printable for decluttering because this is about journal setup, so it's a different thing. We do have decluttering resources on the website. We have a decluttering challenge, but this is about setting up a journal. So it's focused on that. I mean, we could go off on so many tangents. We've basically managed to include a shed ton of resources in one place. I'm going to stop scrolling because I'm sure it's really irritating for everybody. So yeah, have a look through. We're going to send the link out at 1 o'clock to Daisy Chain members. Have a look, and yeah, as you're using it, keep a note of any thoughts and feelings, and it means we can get some feedback and basically make anything that we need to extra slickify it. Yeah, hope you love it. I'm going to go because I'm losing my voice. Thank you all for joining. It's been a fun stream, but different, doing stuff on the computer rather than with my hands. But yeah, key facts are it's not a digital planner. It is a program to help guide you through setting up your physical planner. It is £25. Daisy Chain have access now for the next week to 2 weeks, and then we are going to be getting feedback and releasing it to everybody mid to end of November. Yeah, that's it. Love you all lots. Take care.